What's up everybody, and welcome to the second video in this extended discussion on the Brexit Party meeting that I attended in Watford last weekend. Now, I've had a bit of time to think about this, and what I wanted to do in this video was take a look at the subjects that came up in the policies and how I react to them. So let's have a look at a few policies that were discussed on the night. So the first one was the cancellation of the HS2 project. You know, they say that this is going to save us £100 billion. But to me, the biggest reason I believe we must stop this is that it's too much for too little. It seems like small thinking in the modern world. To save some journey time and to cause so much disruption and cost so much money seems insane. Perhaps if they were converting to maglev technology, or we were doing a project to have wide gauge railways or something, anything else. But this is the 21st century. We have to start thinking big. We have to start thinking, how is our transportation going to exist in the future? Now, next, another policy came up, and that was again to save some money. Well, a lot of money. They intend, the Brexit Party, to intend to reduce the foreign aid budget. Now, it always seemed odd to me that we give aid to countries like India, for example. This is a country with its own space program. I kid you not. And we provide financial aid to them. Now, I'm certainly no expert on the subject, but I would think that our efforts would be best spent in fighting against corruption in these countries. Richard Tice, who's the chairman of the Brexit Party, told an anecdote that I feel that makes the case better than I could. We currently spend so much in foreign aid that we struggle to get rid of it. In fact, we now give the EU £1.5 billion out of the foreign aid budget to spend on our behalf. It seems to me that throwing money at the problem reminds me of the phrase, give a man a fish and he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish and he feeds himself forever. Now, the next proposal that got a big cheer from the crowd, and my reaction was much the same, I'll be honest. The Brexit Party intend to charge 0% interest on student loans. Now, when I was at university, my student loan was set at around 1%, I would guess. Today, the interest rate can be as high as 6.3%. Now that's madness. When you look at our Bank of England base rate of 0.75% at the moment, I think it is. Now, by charging this type of rate, our young people are having to pay this interest, and it's burdening them unnecessarily for years to come. We should be encouraging the betterment of our youth through education. So this one, 0% interest on student loans, yes, they need to pay it back, but this one gets a big thumbs up from me. Now, the Brexit Party also state that they want to invest in the high street, and this is because it is an important part of the community. To the modern world, we all, you and me, do our shopping online. But they are right about this, and they are right about the impact on our community. It always amazes me, by the way, that they charge for parking in these places. I mean, come on, make it free and you'll see the people come and spend their money. But anyway, I'll get off that subject. Don't want to rant on about that one. I think that the death of the high street would have a very detrimental effect on our society. So, to combat this, they are going to reduce business rates to 0% in these areas. Now, that's a good start, but more must be done. And to pay for this, yes, you always hear when parties come out with these promises, well, how are they going to pay for this? Well, to pay for this, they intend to charge an internet sales tax. Now, having read up to this on this subject to a degree, I can certainly see an issue on how exactly they're going to, sorry about that, implement that. So how, yes, say that again, having read up to a degree, I can see an issue on how are they going to implement that. How is that going to work? But I am not so short-sighted to believe that is not possible. Reminds me again a bit about the Irish border issue. They say there is no way that we can do that. Really, there'll be ways to do it. Now, do I object to an internet sales tax? Well, I don't think so. I think that's going to be the way forward anyway. And just don't get me started on big tech and making them pay their share of tax. We'll not go into that one again. Let's avoid that rant. Now, as for the political system and the Brexit Party, they want a debate on the subjects of the House of Lords, the first past the post system, the BBC and its bias, and also wants a major change to the postal voting system. Now, after the unusual activity in this regard during the Peterborough by-election, it's understandable that they want this. As early as this is for the Brexit Party in their policy making, it does seem that they want a discussion about how to move forward. This is in itself a bonus, as the established parties, you know, the Tories and the Labour, they've already got most of their policy positions. Now, you know what? I've always had an issue with this in politics, and why I've never been a member of any party. Surely, it always comes down to the least worst choice. I see good and I see bad policies from Labour and the Conservatives. Now, by voting for one or the other, I cannot possibly agree with all the policies of any one party. At least at this stage, we still have the opportunity to have our say in which direction we want the Brexit Party to go. Now, the final policy issue that came up was the one for recycling. Now, when talking about this, Richard Tice pointed out that we are currently in a disgraceful situation where we send our recycling abroad, not knowing what they do with it. I mean, do they burn it? Do they bury it? Do they dump it in the sea? I mean, who knows? Now, the Brexit Party want to invest in this so that we can deal with it ourselves. And to this, I say bravo. You know, I'm currently watching Blue Planet with my nephews, and it saddens me when I see the damage that plastics are doing to our oceans. But not just that, the damage to our own countryside with the lazily deposited rubbish left by those with no respect or awareness. Now, not getting too high on my horse, it does appear to me that we need to do more in this respect. I'm all for a more sustainable and respectful future we can all work towards. Now, so there's my take on what came up at the Brexit Party meeting in Watford. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching this video. Like, share, subscribe if you appreciate what we do.